And we're back. You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. This is the #1 talk business show in the entire state of North Carolina. You are listening to News Talk WSIC 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, and 1400 AM. And we hope that we are inspiring, informing, and entertaining you on Fridays. Because if it's Friday, say it, Elizabeth, say it.
Your business matters.
Yeah, and that is Elizabeth. She is health strategist and Misfit One, and you can go to her website, and she will keep you healthy, happy, and breathing well. Thank you, Elizabeth. I really do appreciate you being here all month long. I also want to thank the people at Fresh Chef, Courtney, Mel, and Kelly. You know, we had Mel and Kelly on last week. Just a great restaurant, fresh ingredients, everything they make in prepared in-house. There are no freezers in the restaurant. They make delicious steaks, seafood, chicken, sandwiches, salads, wraps. They brought just a buffet of stuff last week, and it just made the entire studio smell so wonderful. They're going to start opening up for brunch on Saturday and Sundays. Please go by Fresh Chef and say hi to Courtney and thank her for all of the hard work and the food that she has been delivering for us. We really do appreciate it. So now, this is Local Biz Now, and we always have a guest to inform you and inspire you, and today is no exception. I'd like to introduce you to somebody who is a little special than normal, and her name is Jennifer. Jennifer, I cannot say your last name. Go ahead and say it.
It's pronounced Szakaly.
Szakaly?
Yes, so it's easy to say if you're not looking at it.
Not a chance in the world would I get that.
Yes, that's okay.
But Jennifer, we're a first name kind of show anyways. Jennifer is a nationally certified care manager and owner of Caregiving Corner, and she is also Joe Vagnone's family approved because she helps take care of Mama for us. So we thank you very much for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Matter of fact, I didn't even know there was a service that you provided until my sister started talking about it. So let's start there, Jennifer. What is Caregiving Corner? What is that exactly?
Yeah, so we provide care management services and counseling for family caregivers. And you're absolutely right. The biggest challenge that we have is that people don't know that there's someone out there like us who can help. So a care manager is an expert in the field of aging who helps the family navigate all of the decisions and the choices that they'll have to make over the progression of typically an aging parent's later years. So that includes, evaluating their situation, helping them find doctors, determining what care they need, helping them identify high quality providers, looking at their budget, helping them determine which care communities might be appropriate. It's really the gamut. We have people that are very independent who are doing some planning. And then we've got people who are at end of life and hospice care and everywhere in between. And
again, I'm lucky that my sister is a therapist.
Hi,
Hey, Nikki. I'm sure she is on the book. So she might throw us a couple of questions out there. She just said that Jennifer is amazing and helps so many families.
Thank
you certainly are helping our family. Let's talk about that, because for me and my family, there's 4 of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're Italian. So you can imagine those conversations, right? And you help us. When I say you, I mean your company helps us. You give us sort of a benchmark. This is what we should expect. This is where you can help. And so it allows all 4 of us with all 4 different opinions. If you think I'm independent, you want to see my older brother and younger brother, and you already know my sister, right? So, and so that process of trying to decide what to do with Mom, it gets tricky.
Right.
And you guys really help with that. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So one of the reasons that it's really difficult for families is they're emotionally tied into the situation. I mean, this is your mom, this is your dad. These are the people that have taken care of you. There's also a lot of baggage there that comes along with those relationships.
Not in an Italian family.
Not
and then of course
not
sibling
in
stuff.
my family. No.
So that part of the benefit of having somebody that's a third party is that we can look at the situation very objectively. We don't have the emotional connection. We obviously care about all of our clients. We love the families we work with, but we have the ability to be one step removed and we don't have the emotional connection. And so we are able to look at the situation and very clearly see what needs to happen without a lot of the distractions that families have.
Well, the other thing that was so helpful for me, my sister watches my mom. My mom lives with my sister. We had built her a place at my sister's house. But my sister needs to live her life, right? She's got children. She's got a family. You know what I mean? And so we, the other brothers, right, on the outside, all we can do is kind of throw some money at it from time to time. And then she came up with this option. I need help, like taking her to a doctor, letting her go shopping, finding out what she wants and needs. There's just time involved in that. Right. And you guys help with that. That's been very helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. And for a lot of people, very similar to your mom's situation, our role is really kind of a healthcare advocate. So we are wanting people like your mom, really all of our clients, but your mom is a good example of this, to be as independent as possible and still have a voice in their healthcare decisions and not be drowned out by the 4 kids that are giving their opinion, but be able to listen to her and put what she says at the forefront and make sure she's comfortable with what's happening, with the decisions that she's making related to her care, make sure she understands the implications, and really kind of give her someone that she can talk to that's outside of the family that can help her, feel more secure as she's dealing with some hard stuff.
I mean, in my family, my mom can have 4 different opinions. And after each one of us talk to her, right? She'll do what Joe wants, and then she'll do what Nikki wants. That's right. And so we're not pushing her in one direction, right or wrong.
Right.
We get to look to you guys and say, okay, what do you think is a good, healthy way to approach that?
Exactly.
Exactly. And what's so amazing is I did not know this exists. And so that's what I want people to hear. There's an entire business out there that can really help. It's almost whatever I need, right? I mean,
it is. Yeah. I mean, if people like Nicole, when she contacted us, good point. She's got a family, she has a business, and she needed somebody. Doctor's appointments take hours. That's what people don't realize. It's not a quick run and pick up mom and take her to the doctor, and it's 15 minutes later and you're back to your day. It's hours. And so a lot of people want somebody else.
And that's a burden for the family member that has to do that.
It is. Yeah. And people have a hard time getting to the point where they kind of acknowledge that they need help with that. But that's one of the many things that we can do. We can, help with doctor's appointments. What happens to a lot of people is that at the end of their life, they're seeing lots of doctors. And the misconception that people have is that those doctors are chatting about them after hours, I guess. I don't know when people think this is happening, but doctors are not communicating in the way that we would like for them to. And so a care manager can kind of be the central hub of information and can make sure that all of the providers are on the same page and know what everyone is doing and also know what's going on at home. Because that's an important component to understanding like what a person's life is really.
I got a different view, which is I don't have a clue what that doctor just said. And so your people are saying, okay, here's what that means.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And here's 3 bullet points of choices that you have.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And so really just interpreting, because you're in front of the doctors. And one things we've learned is that the doctors tend to treat your people with a little bit more respect than they do my mom. I don't know why that is, but it does seem to be true, right?
Yeah.
Why is that? I mean, they do tend to treat my mom better when your people are in the room.
Well, I think that's kind of human nature. Anytime you're being observed, you're gonna kind of bring your A game, and so we do see that in healthcare, and that's why we tell people if you've got a loved one in a care community, go visit. Be the person that people see. Because your loved one is going to get it shouldn't work that way, but that's the reality is that your loved one is not going to be as neglected or as ignored in situations when people around them know that there's family watching or that they have
Oh, wow.
advocates involved.
And you just, I mean, literally, I don't want you to charge me extra, but you literally made it invaluable, because if I'm getting, as you called it, a class A attention from the doctor, I want you in the room.
Right.
Right.
Right. Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
that's worth a few dollars right there.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about your website and how people can reach you. Okay. You are listening to Local Biz Now. If it's Friday morning, say it.
Your business matters.
Yeah, and this is Black History Month.
I love how you say black. This is Black History Month.
Oh, this is going to be a long show.
You just start sweating.
This is going to be a long
Yes,
show.
he is.
I'm sweating out here. We'll be
We need
right
to
back.
pull up those symbols.
And we are back. You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. We hope we are inspiring, informing, and entertaining you. I must tell you, today we cannot stay live when we go to the break on the book, and I'm happy because Elizabeth and company have been picking on me. Isaiah has offered her my show, and she said she will invite me back on St. Patrick's Day. That ain't funny. Nobody likes Isaiah around here, just so y'all know that. Jennifer, I'm sorry you had to hear all that, but thank you so much for being here today. I do
Thank
appreciate
you for
it.
having me. Thank you for
So, one of my sister just typed something in the book, and what she's describing is how you allow an independence for these family members that otherwise they wouldn't be able to have. Because if my mom wants to schedule a doctor appointment or go someplace and do something, and we can't take her, she can't go.
Right.
But now she can contact you guys and schedule that. And quite frankly, she looks forward to it. To her, it's an outing,
Yeah,
to go out.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's a really important piece. People that are lucky enough to have family involvement or even live with their family, that is a great setup. But recognizing the importance of the older adults still being able to kind of have agency and independence in their day-to-day lives is huge for them. You're dealing with people that continue to feel like they're losing something every day, whether it's, something in their body that doesn't work right or doesn't feel great or, something like that. And so to have an outlet for that and the ability to say, I'm going to manage my own doctor's appointment. I'm going to get there. I'm going to call my care manager and she's going to help me with this. That gives them a real sense of independence.
You just said something that really hit me, makes me not want to get old, but you keep losing things. And, there's nothing worse in life than losing something, right?
Right.
And as you're describing that, I'm thinking of what happened to my family. First it was the driving,
Jeez, yes.
and it's even questioning whether what she's saying is something that is acceptable or not. Like, I'm going to ask my sister, what do you think? And so those are questioning mom where before we never would.
Right, exactly.
So that would be frustrating because when my boy starts doing that to me, I'm going to throw things.
Right.
Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it would be great to have somebody just say, will you tell them?
Right. Right. And part of our job too is to focus on what the person can do and figure out how we can kind of harness that and help them see it so that they're not stuck in kind of a cycle where they're focused on all the things they can't do or all the things they have to depend on somebody else to do. So getting involved and first identifying what can this person still do, and let's figure out how to bring this to their attention and put this at the forefront instead of always being, what do they need? What do they need?
So I'm curious because my mom's generation, they absolutely did not want to go to nursing homes, right? They saw those as negatives, bad. Is that changing? Because some of the nursing homes I've seen, or retirement homes, let's call them, they look like spas and retreats. I mean,
right?
Is that? Because I know my mom, we had to put her in my sister's home. That's the only place she's going to be happy. Matter of fact, she's probably the happiest she's ever been. Right, living there. I don't think I could have got her into a home, period, right?
Right.
Is that changing in generation?
It is. So part of the reason that is 60 years ago, nursing homes were horrible. And that was all that there basically was nursing homes. We didn't understand Alzheimer's. We didn't know how to treat people with dementia. They were going to mental institutions instead of care communities, and it was
That's why I'm gonna put
basically-
Isaiah's.
It was basically home or a nursing home.
Right.
And now you have this full spectrum of places. You have the places that are like resorts that are 55 plus. They're active. We've got one in our community in Davidson that's on the lake.
Yeah.
Pat
Pat Shannon got kicked out of there. He's not allowed in there.
And then you've got assisted living so you've got all these different levels that offer a lot of different options rather than just the binary home versus nursing home.
Right.
That people of your mom's generation were accustomed to. And so that is new, and that's exciting because there's more to choose from.
And you can help us make those choices because
Absolutely.
honestly, it's not something I give any thought to until I realize mom needs that.
Right.
I mean, matter of fact, it's almost impossible for somebody like me and my family members to plan because we don't know what to plan. We don't know what is the next thing she's going to lose. I mean,
Right.
we're lucky that we've got my sister, right, who's kind of prepping us for what the future is, right? But in general, we wouldn't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the real challenge. It's that family caregivers don't know that they don't know that they're caregivers until they are caregivers. And oftentimes it kind of falls in your lap and then you're like, oh gosh. And then it's all of this stuff that you don't know and you didn't know that you didn't know it. And so
That's right.
it is a whole, industry of things to learn, and it's very, very overwhelming. So I sometimes use the analogy that like if you're pregnant and you're having a child, you've got kind of that 9-month ramp working up to like
Right.
familiarize yourself with all the gadgets and gizmos and equipment and
you can Google all
daycares.
that,
Exactly.
what's the best thing to buy and all that.
But mom is fine on Friday, falls and breaks her hip on Saturday, and you are now suddenly like, oh my God, what do I need? And where do I find it? And where do I go? And what's the difference between this building and this building? And what does Medicare pay for? And all
Right.
of that. And you don't have the lead up in most cases.
Well, the difference is like a baby. I know at least the question to ask on the Google.
Right.
Like when someone's getting older, I don't even know how to do the search, right?
Right.
Like what is going to be the problem? And so that's where you guys are so very helpful.
Right. Yeah.
I cannot thank you enough. My family deeply appreciates all that you do.
absolutely.
So before we go, because we just got a few minutes, if somebody wanted to reach you, how could they do that?
Yep. Our website is caregivingcorner.com. We've also got a Facebook page. It's Caregiving Corner on Facebook. But our website has got a ton of articles on all different types of topics related to aging. So if people are just needing some general information about different resources, it's a great place to go to poke around and see what you can learn.
And if you're on the book, I've just pulled that up. I've got a question on the book, and that is, will any of my mom's insurance cover these costs? Does insurance cover this?
That's a great question. So long-term care insurance will often cover care management. Unfortunately, traditional insurers do not. So Medicare and private insurance companies don't cover care management, but long-term care insurances. We always look into those policies to see if we can get reimbursed.
Insurance is always slow and behind the mark because this would save them so much money.
Yes.
They really are. We don't have much time, but you're not a one-woman show. So talk about how you hire and how you find people and how you train your people.
Yeah, exactly. So I started the business 18 years ago. I was a one-woman show, and then we've grown the team. So now there are 10 of us. Nurses and social workers and counselors. And we really just tried to match people with the best skill set that they need. So if our client has more clinical needs or has more needs for medical interaction and involvement, then they're going to get paired with a nurse. And we really just tried to kind of match the person up with someone on our team for the most success. But we really do talk about all of our clients as a team. So we try to bring our kind of collective mind to the table for each and every one of our clients.
We need to get you to get Elizabeth to go see the old crusty people that you take care of and teach them how to breathe right.
They would just love to breathe. I bet you they'd be happy.
See, I'm trying to be serious, and you go there. They would just
Crusty
love
people.
to. They would love to breathe.
Yeah.
My mama enjoys breathing.
Don't we all? We all another day.
Jennifer, I'm sorry we're making fun, but thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Really do
It was
appreciate
a lot
it.
of fun.
You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. If it's Friday morning, somebody's picking on Joe. We will see you next week. If it's Friday morning,
Your business matters.
yeah, celebrate Black History Month somehow, some way, and then we'll tell Elizabeth about tomorrow.
That's right. Next week.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.